This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 1173 of Horse Tip Daily, your almost everyday morsel of helpful hints, useful facts, and practical techniques for horse folks. Brought to you today by EquestrianCollections.com. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip features Joe Meyer and Tamra Smith having a good chat about warming up a horse that is a little spooky or a little too careful over fences. And we'll get right to our tip after this from EquestrianCollections.com.
Hi, Glenn here from the Horse Radio Network, and I am with Debbie from Equestrian Collections with Equestrian Collections Product of the Week.
This week I'm going to be featuring the MDC Super Sport Stirrup. They actually come in two styles, but basically the thing that sets these apart are the footbed. A lot of your listeners, I'm sure, are familiar with the NBC stirrup line because they're really top-of-the-line stirrups. They're the ones that have the little turny thing at the top where you can put your feet at any angle for comfort and to make your feet more correct in the stirrup. But this new one has a very wide base with non-stick aluminum padding. That base is about 2.5 to 3 inches wide. And when you put your foot in that stirrup, you are secure. Your foot doesn't slip. You won't feel like your foot is going to slip. You really feel secure. It's great for fox hunters. Particularly, we were thinking fox hunters would love these because there's lots of good stability. And also, they come in with a flex side, the flexible hinge, which you can move your foot back and forth and you can feel that, or they come in the more traditional one without that flexible hinge for those who want a more traditional look like in the show ring. But if you're the jumpers, the fox hunters, anybody, beginners, anybody that wants a really solid feel should get these stirrups. We've had trainers that got on my friend's horse who has this stirrup, and she said, "Oh my God, where did you get these?" Because they feel so good. Now, they're not inexpensive. The ones with the flexible hinges are $200, $199.95. So they are for the serious rider. But I highly recommend them. Really, the minute you put your foot in them, you're going to feel completely different and a lot more secure.
Well, and the other thing about MDC is it's top quality stuff. This is the good stuff. This is made to last, and it will last. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Anybody that even has any kind of knee or leg issues, they'll find that these will help alleviate some of that as well. And of course, this is the MDC Super Sport Stirrups and MDC other stirrups on there as well at EquestrianCollections.com. Just search for MD as in dog, C as in Charlie.
And I also want to mention trail riders. They are great for riding on hilly trails too, for that secure feel.
Especially with the wider foot base, that would be
exactly.
That would be good.
Thanks,
MDC
Glenn.
Super Sport Stirrups at EquestrianCollections.com.
First and foremost, my first guest and co-host for the show, Tammy Smith. Hi, Tammy.
Hello, Joe.
The show jumping, when you say that you've been working really hard, you must have been, because he actually looked quite adjustable. I mean, it's a hugely scopy horse.
Yeah, he is very scopy, but he's very careful. And I've always wondered, because he is so careful, he becomes spooky at the wrong times sometimes. And to try to know when to adjust him or when to push him for a bigger stride. And he's unpredictable in when he spooks. And I never really know when he's going to. And so I worked with Susie Hutchinson this summer and went to several jumper shows to really get to know him better because we were newlyweds, if you will. And so we formulated a wonderful warm-up, a warm-up for him, as well as leading up to the show and what to do. And it's really paid off. I feel like I know exactly what to do in the warm-up to get him in the ring feeling confident.
Is that something that you could share with our listeners, some of your little techniques?
Absolutely. I just, Susie has me jump like a 2-foot vertical 20 times before I even try to put the jump up. And I never put a wide spread. Typically in the show jumping, you'll see people start with an oxer and then they'll widen the oxer. It'll be a low wide oxer. And that was kind of always my approach because that's kind of been what I've done. But he is extremely careful, and I jump him until he feels confident and he stops spooking at the jump. And so sometimes that's 10 jumps and sometimes it's 25 jumps, which is that's very unconventional when you're thinking about jumping a 3-day horse over show jumps warming up, because I'm probably jumping, 5 times more small jumps than most people are. And so, and then we just put the jumps up and gradually, and then I jump a big jump wide and high oxer and then a vertical before I go in. So, but it does take him quite a few jumps for him to kind of get settled.
Well, there you have it. You can find links to today's guests as well as lots more tips at horsetipdaily.com. Make sure you have all of your favorite Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go with the free Horse Radio Network app for your iPhone or Android. Just go to your app store and search Horse Radio Network. And of course, you can subscribe via iTunes. This podcast was made possible through the generous support of EquestrianCollections.com and listeners like you. This is Coach Jen, and I'll be back soon with another tip. So until then, go ride your horse. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.